Hi guys. It was a very long day for me because it started at 5 o'clock in the morning when I went out to the shooting range to have some practice. Then I came here to my workshop and to my shooting range where I can make some experiments and test different changes. Probably some of you mentioned that I didn't make any videos about Panthera for a long time. I've made a huge number of experiments and not all of them were successful, but I don't think that it is right to share all the information. I will explain why. There are people who try to repeat my experiments, and if I show the experiment that didn't give good result to me and people will try to repeat it, they can break the gun. And it is not the guarantee case, and I don't think that it is correct and good information. So I've made the whole number of tests and different modifications of that gun, and let me describe some of them and results I've got. First things first, and those are results. Today I've tried to shoot 25 shot groups to 100 yards distance. Some of you seen that I've made slug resize to 5.525 millimeter. Yeah, right. And in my previous tests they did rather well. But I don't know what happened. Probably it is about the weather or something else. Today my very factory, so to say, slugs, which are 5.555 millimeters, so very big diameter, they showed perfect accuracy. And unfortunately I wasted a lot of time shooting those resized slugs and trying to find good accuracy. So 25 shots to 100 yards distance didn't leave 9-point circle of 100 bench rest yard target. Just crazy and amazing. 25 shots. And the group I've made before, also with 25 shots, 23 shots didn't leave 9 score zone, and 2 got to 8 zone because of the wind gust. It was just incredible. So as a fact, I've got 50 shots and only 2 of those shots got out of 9 score zone. So I think it is very good and it is very stable, and I'm very satisfied. So the simplest tuning I've made is I've got rid of this washer, I think it's called, that is being put on the front part of the barrel. Why did I do it? I use liner with carbon fiber sleeve, so it is rather firm, I would say, and it gets to the barrel also rather firm. And to tell you the truth, I don't think that something can affect barrel so hardly that it will be deformed in the way for slug could damage the moderator or the outcome of the barrel. So I decided to get rid of it because I have some ideas. I'm not sure if I'm right or wrong, but every time I have to get out of this shroud to clean the barrel, and every time I put it back, point of impact can change. I don't like it, so I decided to get rid of it. It's the first part. The second part, great thanks to Air Marksman and Uter Air Guns guys. They sent me those 700mm bottle with the valve and 300 cubic centimeters bottle with the valve. So now I have 1 liter of 300 bar pressure air bottles. That's just cool and great. Thank you so much. Another experiment I've made is changing the position of bipod's fixation bracket, how it's called correctly. Sorry, it's evening, I'm already late and I forget a lot of words. And I made a video, but I decided that it's so much editing work to do, I just didn't publish it. I published some information in social media like Facebook, and it seems to me Some of them were published on Airgun Nation. Probably, I'm not sure. So I found the best position for bipeds here, and I use it right now. Another change I've made, that is, I'm not sure if it is absolutely correct, but I feel that for my setup for that gun, it is better. I've made the plenum smaller because I shoot 40 grain slugs at 275 meters per second, and it is rather low speed, I would say. And I don't need that huge amount of air of 155 cubic centimeters. So I've taken those two weights for barrel. I put them inside of the plenum. Please mention you are not allowed to do it without getting to your dealer, because it's dangerous if you don't know how to work with high pressure systems, and your gun will be out of guarantee if you make it. So take this into account, please. I put them on the barrel, and that made the volume of plenum much smaller. I think that now it is about, I'm not sure, I didn't calculate it, I will do it later, and probably you'll see exact numbers here. I think that it is about 80 cubic centimeters. That is more than enough for my setup. Another thing I've changed, I can't call it an upgrade of a valve. Yes, I just made an experiment, and I like that experiment. So I've made quite another shape. It's a kind of droplet shape for the valve that is installed here. And I got rid of valve spring absolutely, so there's no any spring now. After I made those tests, I found out that I've upgraded, I would say, the air efficiency of the system, because my previous tests showed that at the same setup, I mean velocities of the projectile, air consumption was 11.3 cubic centimeters per joule. Now it is 10 cubic centimeters per joule, so 10% of profit, I would say, here. And now my Panthera gets lower air consumption. It was before I made plenum smaller, so I'm not sure what air consumption right now here. So what else did I do? So there were so much experiments, to tell you the truth. Alright, I think that's all. All important I'd like to tell you about. So I think that'll be more correct to say. So I've made two 25 shots groups, and I've got perfect accuracy as for me. I'm not absolutely sure am I able to call it next generation accuracy, but I think it is something close to that, to tell you the truth. I have another experiment in my head, but I'm scared to change something in this gun, to tell you the truth, anymore, because the season of competition is coming, and I've got another valve and some ideas on getting to extremely high velocities, about 1100 feet per second with 40 grain slugs. I have some ideas, but probably I just get another gun for them, because I don't want to touch it. Yes, another thing I forgot to tell you about. I've made experiments with different hammer weights, starting from tungsten hammer and different much lighter weights. So you don't need to use tungsten hammer here at all, at least if you use your standard system with 40 grain slugs, and if you don't want to go above 100 feet per second, because the valve being used here is the valve with very big diameter, so it's about 10 millimeters, and it doesn't matter how much weight you put to your hammer, it can open valve very widely, but as the valve is of very big diameter, air pressure will close it very fast. So getting heavier hammer, you don't get any profit at all. So as a fact, hammer weighs about 28 grams if I'm not mistaken, and now I installed the hammer weight of 6 grams, and it's more than enough, absolutely more than enough than you need. So it's not FX Impact M3 where sometimes you have to use tungsten hammer. It's quite a different story that works in absolutely different style, so you've got to take it into account. Well, enough talking. I think that I told you everything I wanted to, and let's see how I shot those groups, and I'm very satisfied and very happy. I hope that I will not change anything anymore, but I'm that kind of person that can't stop making experiments, you know. I love it, but it is so dangerous when shooting season is coming. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope that you had some useful information and you like the video of my shooting. Bye.
Wow.